Hey, what's up? I'm Jon Huertas. I play Miguel on This Is Us, and I also direct on the show. So make sure you tune in to episode 3 of season 6 to see the work that I put into an episode as a director. And let's get buzzed.
Then after the cocktail hour, I will give my toast.
Wait, you're going to give a toast?
Of course, yeah, I'm hosting.
No, we're co-hosting.
Oh, really? How much money are you kicking in to pay for co-hosting this dinner? I'm sorry.
Hi, Jon. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. What was it like directing such an all-star cast?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, you hope to, when you're a director, be able to have the gift of directing actors as good as the ones we have on This Is Us. It probably made it so easy for me, just being able to work with Sterling, and Mandy, and Milo, and Chris, and Sue, and everyone. It's just such an amazing cast. You can't ask for a better cast in television, I think.
Absolutely. And I think that this episode is really interesting because it's all about fatherhood. What about that subject matter made you want to jump into the director's chair?
Well, I've always had, kind of father relationship kind of issues. When any of the films that have made me cry uncontrollably have always had to do with a father-son kind of issue situation. So when Dan called me and he said, "Yo, I've got an episode that I think you'd be absolutely perfect for," it's because he and I had conversations over the years about just my background, my backstory personally, and a lot of elements that we have as cast members and as writers go into the stories that we tell on the show. And so he knew just from past conversations that I would probably connect with this better than anyone.
Did you find yourself almost reflecting more and more into the subject matter as you started digging more and more into this script that Dan created for you?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, I don't have any kids, and I never really had a father. I had a grandfather that stepped up and tried to be as much of a father figure as he could, but he was also working really hard trying to keep the roof over our heads and keep food on our plates. So I didn't really get to have the father-son kind of thing with him. So, two of the characters in my episode are dealing with whether or not they're going to be present enough for their kids based on the circumstances. Right? And so that was something that I know the other side of that as the kid. So yeah, I mean, I really tried to imagine what they might feel like based on just what I felt like, because I think there's this mutual feeling between a father and a child that is I think that you want to say. I know that as a child I wanted to have a father. I wanted to have that person in my life, and not having them I acted out. I didn't think so. I think the worry that a father might have that their child could feel neglected or feel like they don't get enough time, and the worry that their child won't develop the way that we hope our kids develop, which is emotionally, physically in a positive direction. So yeah, I kind of definitely did that while shooting this, and really trying to get into those two characters specifically when it comes to that.
It's one of the reasons why I love This Is Us, because every single episode triggers some sort of thing. It might not be triggering for you, but it could be for the person sitting next to you. We can all relate to some part of the episode. And I know that you can't reveal anything in what ultimately happens between you and Rebecca. And Dan's also really good at keeping you guys out of the loop as much as he can, and for as long as he can. But do you know what Miguel's fate will ultimately be at the end of the season? And if you do, are you happy with it? And if you don't, what do you hope for your character?
I think I know an aspect of what where Miguel ends up at the end of the story. I don't know. Like I said, like you said, Dan, keeps us in the dark because he loves to surprise us with scripts and story points. I think he looks forward to getting those texts from someone like, I just read episode 4. Oh my gosh,
Right.
So he lives for that to come from us as well as reaction from the audiences, right? So I do know, like I said, some aspects of where Miguel ends up at the end of the story, but I don't know everything either. But I'm going to be really happy with at the end of the story because we're able to finish it, where a lot of shows you don't get to really finish the story. So I'm really happy about that. I'm happy about where Miguel's journey is going to take him over the course of the season. It's nice to see them finally opening up Miguel's story, because it's one of the things that as a Latinx adult male actor, you worry that the kind of characters that Miguel is, they don't get the development that other characters get traditionally, because of just really it's not having as many people in the writer's room that look like me or that have my experiences, and also behind the camera directing. Or I'm really excited, we have a great director who's Puerto Rican, who's going to be directing an episode later this season that my character is going to be the focus of. And I worked hard to get this director onto the, and it's not 100%, it's not 100%, it's 95% confirmed that she's going to be directing the episode. Her name is Zetna Puentes. She's an amazing director, but I fought hard to get her on the show. She worked with us season 2, I believe, and hasn't been back since because she's so busy, she's so sought after, she's so good. So I wanted her for an episode that's focused on me, so I fought hard, and I think we got it going on.
I'll be right here waiting for you.
Here goes. I also want to talk about your relationship with Mandy Moore and how it's progressed over these last few seasons. In your opinion, how do you think it's progressed?
We're getting married in a couple of weeks.
Oh, great.
It's progressed. It's progressed very well. Mandy and I are pretty close. We have really good chemistry on screen, but more so off screen. We're sitting around waiting to film scenes. We laugh a lot together. We hang out, my wife and her husband and her, and we just had dinner the other night, in fact. I really, really respect Mandy so much because, I've seen her do the most incredible work as our youngest adult cast member, and she has talent beyond her years, and she is she's sweet, she's giving, she is supportive, she's everything. She's too damn perfect, really, is what Mandy Moore is. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And it's funny that you say that she's the youngest adult cast member, because sometimes I find myself forgetting that she actually is this beautiful young woman. I just picture her as this I don't know how old she is in the show, but 70-something-year-old.
69.
Can you relate to that? 69-year-old. Can you relate to that? Do you sometimes just envision her as your co-star in this older years, or do you always envision her as the Mandy Moore we know?
I envision her both ways because she's so amazing at embodying both versions of Rebecca, all versions of Rebecca. And I also relate because, most people, when they see me, they're like, man, you look so familiar. You know who you kind of remind me of? Miguel from This Is Us. Have you ever watched that? I'm like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard that before because a lot of people associate me with the elder Miguel, who's 74, I think 73 or 74. And they don't put 2 and 2 together with like the younger Miguel from the 70s and 80s with me, the contemporary version of me. So I can relate in that way too. Most people, when they meet me, they're like, I didn't realize you were so young, which is a testament to our hair and makeup department that makes us so believable. They do such a great job that I can't tell you how many people have said, I thought you were like 70 years old.
That's so funny. I also love that your character was almost so hated towards the beginning because he was taking his best friend's widow. But now that viewers are seeing him in this brand new light, it's this beautiful transformation. Was that almost a fun challenge for you to win the audience over?
Absolutely. It's what I said from the beginning. A lot of the press that we would do at the very beginning of the show, and people would say, what's it like to be the most hated character on This Is Us? And I was like, it's a challenge, because you never want to be the actor who the people don't like your character. You want your character to be lovable, right? Even when you're the villain, like you want people to love to hate you when you're even the villain. And I wasn't a villain, obviously, but the challenge was, how do we turn people around? How do we get them to warm up? And so that's also something you live for as an actor. You live for the fact that you want people to love your character, but you also live for the challenge of portraying a character a certain way. And I wanted to portray a character a certain way that was going to change people's minds. And so the writers had a lot to do with it. Dan and I talking a lot about, certain things, certain aspects of the character and who he is to the Pearson family, who he is to Rebecca, things that he would say. I mean, every once in a while I would find a line that I thought, you know what, they might take this the wrong way. Is there a better way to say what you're trying to say right here? And this is a conversation I would have with the writers. And so, I love that people now feel better about Miguel. They don't think that I killed Jack anymore. They know who the culprit is. It's a slow cooker.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't you. Well, congratulations on such an amazing season, such an amazing episode, getting to be behind and in front of the camera.
Thank you.
You are absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
Take care.